got a stack of documents here that reads less like a legal case and more like a modern tragedy.
It really does.
We're looking at Yadwinder Singh v. State of Punjab, and it asks a question that is just incredibly uncomfortable.
It is.
If you break someone's heart so badly that they take their own life, are you a criminal?
It's a brutal question.
Yeah.
We are walking the line between what's a moral failure and what is actual criminal guilt.
A very thin line.
In this case, razor thin.
Yep.
The Supreme Court had to step in just to define it.
So set the scene for us, because this isn't just a random couple.
Yeah.
The sources say they were both government advocates.
Right. They were professionals. They knew the law. Yadwinder Singh and Pardeep Kaur, they were in a relationship. They wanted to get married.
Okay.
But they hit this classic, painful cultural wall. Yadwinder's father was annoyed. That's the actual word used in the record.
Annoy, and he refused to give his blessing.
Exactly. So Yadwinder stalled.
He just stalled.
He did. He told Pardeep's mother, I like her, but I need time to convince my dad. He was just trying to buy time, keep the peace.
But Pardeep ran out of patience.
She did. On November 6, 2016, she consumed poison and passed away.
Horrific. But this is where our deep dive shifts, right? From the human tragedy to the legal machinery. Because the mother's reaction, it changes.
Drastically. And this is a massive takeaway for anyone listening who might ever have to interact with the police.
How so?
Well, the day after the suicide, the mother files an FIR. She says basically, he backed out of the marriage, she was heartbroken, she killed herself.
Which, while devastating, is not a crime.
No. You're allowed to break up with people, even if the timing is just awful.
Right.
So the mother, or maybe her legal counsel, they probably realized that initial statement just wouldn't lead to a conviction.
So they changed it.
2 days later, she files a supplementary statement. And suddenly, the story isn't he backed out anymore.
What is it now?
Now, she claims Yadwinder mentally and physically exploited Pardeep.
And there's a kicker, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. She claims he explicitly told Pardeep, I don't care if you die.
Okay, that feels very convenient. A little too perfect.
It looks like what lawyers call retrofitting. It's like they took the facts of a breakup and tried to force them to fit the legal definition of a crime.
They were trying to trigger Section 306 of the IPC Abetment of Suicide.
Exactly. But to make that charge stick, you need instigation
Okay.
under Section 107.
So let's break that down. What does instigation actually mean in plain English?
It's not just causing sadness or being silent. It requires active goading, pushing someone.
Can you give us an analogy?
Think of it this way. If I'm standing on a ledge and you just walk away because you can't deal with me, that's abandonment.
Yeah.
It's painful, but it's not a crime.
Okay.
But if I'm on that ledge and you handed me a weight and shout, jump, that's instigation.
So the mother's second statement, the I don't care if you die, was trying to prove he handed her the weight.
She was trying to manufacture that active intent. But the Supreme Court Justices Pardiwala and Viswanathan, they saw right through it.
They looked at that 2-day gap and the sudden change in the story.
Yep, they called it an improvement.
Which sounds like a polite legal way of saying a lie.
It's a strategic lie, yeah. The court basically said you can't just patch up the holes in your case 2 days later to make sure you get a conviction. They said allowing this trial to go on would be an empty formality.
Because Yadwinder didn't have mens rea.
The guilty mind. The court found that Yadwinder was trapped. He was scared of his father, maybe a bit of a coward, sure, but he did not want her dead.
And there's a huge difference between being a bad boyfriend and a criminal abettor.
A massive difference. The court was protecting him from the system being used as a weapon for revenge.
That's the key insight here. Yeah.
The law cannot be used to punish someone just because we're grieving and angry. If the intent to destroy isn't there, the crime isn't there. So they quashed the FIR.
Case closed. But it leaves this heavy feeling. For the listener, there's a really practical lesson here.
Consistency is currency.
Right. If you change your story to the police to make it sound more criminal, you actually just destroy your own credibility.
You tank your own case.
And for legal professionals, it's a reminder that emotional hurt, no matter how deep, can't be prosecuted as a crime without that proof of active intent.
The law handles crime, not cowardice. And it certainly can't fix the kind of broken family dynamics that put these two people in that impossible position to begin with.
And that's something we all have to figure out outside the courtroom. A tragic case, but a really important one. Thanks for diving in with us.